Hey there, how you doing? Angry with Byleth or are you happy? Man, that sure was something, wasn't it? I think I have never seen a dislike bar grow so much during a livestream. Kinda sad. But hey, I don't mind. I think Byleth is really cool and Three Houses is an awesome game. Would I have preferred someone else getting in? Yeah, sure. But we'll just have to roll with the punches and make the most of it. He seems really fun to play as at least. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. No, an interesting tidbit from that livestream is that Sakurai finally announced how many new characters we would be getting in the second Fighters Pass. And that number was 6. Even one more than the first season pass. So if your favorite character didn't get in, now might be the time to get lucky. I have done a lot of lists about Smash characters in the past, and I love to do these, but now I want to look at realism. Not who would be fun to play as, but who are the ones that actually have the most chance in my opinion. So these are not the ones that I necessarily want the most, but just the ones that we might see appear. Now it could be of course that you think other fighters have a bigger chance than the ones that I will talk about in this video. So if that is the case, please let me know in the comments who you think that would be. Okay, we clear? Let's begin with number 6. Now, since we got Byleth in, the rules have changed. We thought only third-party characters would get in as DLC, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. And with a second Fighters Pass with even more characters, I think it's pretty safe to assume that we will get some more Nintendo representatives in there. I believe the safest bet for that new fighter is going to be a Gen 8 Pokemon rep. I mean, they like to add Pokemon from the newer gens as time goes on. And the only new Pokemon we got was Incineroar in the base game for Ultimate. As you probably know, Sword and Shield weren't released yet, and no new Pokemon were known at the time. But there is now, so it wouldn't be a shocker to me if we see one of them appear as DLC. But the question is, who would that be? Well, Sakurai likes his starters, and these are often the most interesting Pokemon. And as we look at the different types, I guess we can figure out who that new fighter would be. We have Pokemon Trainer who has all the 3 starter types, Incineroar for fire, Greninja for water, and then we will end up with Rillaboom for grass. And personally, if they would put one starter in, I would hope this would be the one. An interesting fighter as a heavyweight who uses his drum kit to attack people with vines and leaves. It probably has to carry around his tree stump on his back to move around and thwack people on the head with his sticks. At least he would make the most sense to me because of that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they add one of the 2 other starters instead. Rillaboom is just the most interesting one for me, and it would be the perfect way to introduce the first final evolution grass type. I was also a firm believer that each character would come from a different developer, and technically, that was true. I expected them all to be different third-party studios, but hey, with Nintendo being the 5th one, it's at least different than the rest. And I have a sneaky suspicion that we will maybe get 1 or 2 repeats from the companies that already got a character in with the DLC. As it's obvious that these have good relationships with Nintendo and might bring another character on board. And I believe Microsoft is going to be one of them. I was so surprised by Banjo-Kazooie. Happy, but surprised. As I was expecting to get another Microsoft character in instead. That's right, the main person from the best-selling game of all time. Minecraft Steve, or at least a Minecraft avatar with different skins. It doesn't only have to be Steve. I know some people would love this idea and other people absolutely hate it, but it just makes the most sense. Like I said, the most sold game of all time, great relationships between Nintendo and Microsoft, a unique character, and a stage that could be really fun with destroyable blocks. If they would add another Microsoft rep, this will be it. I'm almost sure of that. And for this guy I have made a case before as well. Ryu Hayabusa. Why is it that we don't have any reps from Koei Tecmo in the game yet? That's just so strange to me. And who would be better to take that first spot for them if it isn't Ryu? Koei has done a lot of stuff with Nintendo, so their relationship is good. Just to name a few things. They were heavily involved in Fire Emblem Three Houses, Fire Emblem Warriors, Hyrule Warriors, and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. These are all very recent games from them that made their way to the Switch. Okay, Hyrule Warriors was originally on Wii U, but the other ones have all released very recently. And Ryu would be perfect as it is one of those classic NES characters that's still mostly relevant to this day. I say mostly as it has been some time ago that we have seen a Ninja Gaiden game, but there have been many over the years. And we all know that Sakurai loves his classic characters. And I guess it would be another sword fighter, but he could be very unique in his own way as well, with all his other martial arts abilities. How nice would it be for Greninja to finally get some more ninja love in the game? I would love it. The character would work greatly, and I really do believe he has a lot of chance. And then there is this other company that has worked so much with Nintendo lately, but had no representation in Smash yet. But that changed since our last Smash reveal. I'm talking about Ubisoft. I thought it was so strange that after Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle and the Starlink Battle for Atlas Star Fox content, that they didn't have any stuff in Smash yet. But now we have some Mii costumes from them, with the Rabbids and Altair. It would make more sense to pair that with a Ubisoft character, so does that mean that we won't get a fighter from them in? No, I don't think so. I believe we will see one in Fighters Pass 2. But again, who? Well, we can scrap Altair from that list, together with the Rabbids, but I didn't expect them to have a chance. No, if I have to guess one, which is also the one that I want the most, then I would have to say Rayman, as he would bring the most value as a unique character. And as we know, one thing is that Sakurai likes to put characters in that are fun instead of the ones that are the most well known, as he stated himself. Which is what essentially happened with Banjo-Kazooie. There was the Nintendo 64 history of course, but also just how well those two fit in. But back to Rayman. He has been a Ubisoft poster boy for a long time. The only thing is that there haven't been any Rayman games recently. But that shouldn't stop him. What makes him unique is that his hands and feet are detached from his body. I mean, he literally can throw hands, plus he can also shoot magic orbs. His games are so much fun, and it's a shame that we haven't had a new entry in the Rayman series in such a long time. But if we could add him to Smash, then that would soften the pain. Another party that has a huge stake in Smash but also almost no content is Bandai Namco. I mean, they have been the main developer for Smash 4 and are the head developer for Smash Ultimate as well. But what characters do they have in the game? Pac-Man. Just freaking Pac-Man as the head developer. It's so weird to me, especially for a company that has a catalog with so many amazing characters. I did a whole top 5 of fighters that could work well in Smash from their games. But if I had to pick one, I would have to say Heihachi, as he is from a fighting game. There could be some other interesting picks like Lloyd Irving, Agumon or Cosmos. But my money is on Heihachi, a powerhouse fighting expert that likes to use electric attacks. I would love to see a Tekken fighter in. Especially now you can put him up against the Street Fighter boys and Terry. I know he's a character that isn't too much often present in fan lists, although Tekken fans most surely want to make him see an entrance. It just makes a lot of sense to me. Bandai Namco is single-handedly the most important company behind Smash. Okay, wait, second-handedly, besides Nintendo. And for them to only have one guy in leaves a lot of room for opportunity. And the second season pass could be the time that they are going to make use of that. Now let me end this list with the man that has caused enough trouble in this community. The boy that Sakurai got harassed over. The man, the myth, the legend, the amazing Waluigi. Look, with the first Fighters Pass I didn't think he had any chance. But with 6 more fighters getting in and being one of the most requested fighters out there, I have to believe that he actually has a big chance now. They listen to the fans. That's been made clear over and over again. With the Smash Ballad, Ridley, King K. Rool, Banjo, not necessarily the most famous characters, but absolutely 100% fighters with a huge support and fans. And Waluigi is no exception. They wouldn't have to go through third-party developers as they own the character themselves. They know it will sell like crazy, and it would make people go into a frenzy and probably also happy as an amazing ending to the second Fighters Pass. Which wasn't so much the case with Byleth. Most characters in this list are based on the partnerships of Nintendo and relevancy. But I believe Waluigi is the white whale out there that could really change the game. It could also be the case that Sakurai thinks, well screw this, they harassed me on Twitter, then no Waluigi for you! Which would make a lot of sense probably. But you never know. And I believe he will get in, as the last fighter of the second season pass. A perfect way to close off all the Smash DLC. So that's it. The 6 fighters that I believe actually have the most chance of filling up the second fighter's pass. And is this a guarantee that it will happen? No, of course not. As you also know, Nintendo likes to surprise. And surprise they did last time around. Almost no one saw Terry coming. And I'm almost certain that we will be flabbergasted once again. So now it's up to you, friend. Do you believe that I have a realistic list here? Or is it all nonsense? Let me know your 6 fighters that you think have the most chance to appear in the game. It doesn't have to be your favorite character, but just the ones that you really believe will make an appearance. And if you are watching this, you probably love Smash. Then why not subscribe to the XPref channel for a whole lot more on that topic. Top 5 lists, predictions and fun live streams where we go over all the latest news. There is also much more Nintendo stuff to be found. Leaving a like is much appreciated as that makes you really cool. I want to thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you next time.